But Prince Andrew has apparently planned to appear in public at the order of the Garter ceremony today, but was reportedly stopped from doing so by Charles and William, who spoke to the Queen and apparently insisted that she must stop him. Liz, do you think that the princes were right to wade into this?
I think so. I think he should take a back seat now. I think maybe it's time for him to retire and just, you know, go and relax somewhere and keep out of the public eye, really, because I think he sort of tarnished the name of the royal family, really, hasn't he?
But it is important to say, you know, he did, of course, deny all the allegations.
I know he did, but I just think, you know, that maybe it's time for him just to take a back seat and leave the others to sort of take over, really.
I mean, the last time he appeared in public alongside the Queen, Jane, that didn't necessarily go down very well. So what do you think the backstory to this is then?
Yeah, I mean, the last time was the memorial, wasn't it? Which I didn't have that much of an issue with because it was his father.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, he's perfectly entitled to go to his own father's memorial. But this, of course, is very much a royal event. And rather awkwardly, his name apparently is still in the programme, even though he's not going to be turning up. So it shows it was a bit of a last-minute decision for him not to be there. Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably time now that he maybe got a job of some description, because if you look at, say, Princess Margaret's son, David Linley, as Viscount Linley as he used to be now, and he's now Earl of Snowdon, he's worked all through his royal life. He's got a very good job. You know, he basically potters around London on a bicycle and is still very much a part of the family, but not a working royal. And, you know, it can be done. And I think maybe it's now time for Andrew to look at doing that.
I don't think he's ever had a job, has he, really?
Well, no, which is why I say maybe it's time to find one.
I think you're right.
Well, do you think there's an element, though, of perhaps within what we call the firm, not necessarily realising what the possible backlash to Prince Andrew coming back into public life could be?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Queen is 96. She probably doesn't look at online message boards, you know, and that is the best way to immediately see the sort of like the litmus test of what people are thinking. And there is, as you rightly say, Linda, a lot of feeling towards Prince Andrew that isn't necessarily favourable. And she probably wouldn't know that. She probably thinks, well, that's all been sorted now. Let's just phase him back into, you know, royal life. Whereas the younger royals, particularly William, will know full well that that would be a PR disaster for them.
And I think it just shows his disrespect for her and the royal family in that, OK, the Queen might not necessarily know how people feel about him, but he surely does, and maybe shows how seriously he hasn't taken it. But then, like you say, he's, you know, for him, he probably feels like if he wasn't guilty, then he deserves to be there. But publicly, that's not ever going to go down well, is it?
I mean, we always have to go back to the fact that he did deny everything that was the claims that were aimed in his direction. But also, the Queen is coming towards, we assume, the end of her reign, and it'd be a shame. I think people think it would probably be a shame for this to be a stain on what has been an incredible reign for her.